Right now, Madison's curfew is over, but another night of unrest leaves even more businesses damaged over the weekend. I'm live with the latest ahead.
Plus, 2 people are in custody for looting that extended into the suburbs last night. We'll tell you where straight ahead.
And a big dome of heat is not only bringing warmer temperatures, but chances for showers and thunderstorms to the forecast. We'll time those out.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Peaceful protest followed by destruction.
This morning, we're seeing new businesses targeted and widespread damage on State Street.
Josh Sprider is on State Street this morning with a look at some of that damage as the cleanup has already begun. Josh?
Good morning, guys. Yeah, this site behind me is pretty common here across State Street last night. We're at the Under Armour store just across from State Street Brats. You can see some of the up and boarded up, but those riders last night taking advantage of whatever was left and looting a lot of these stores along here. You can see the broken glass. I spoke to a security guard that said she saw people going through there throughout the night trying to see whatever merchandise they can. A lot of graffiti throughout downtown. You can see BLM, which we can only assume for meaning Black Lives Matter. We also see a lot of these businesses have signs. This one's saying family business, stay safe, love your city crew. We've also seen some that have said owned by minority, Black Lives Matter. What also has been truly amazing is just like we saw yesterday, we've seen people already coming out to try and help clean up and help these businesses get back on their feet. We spoke to this gentleman earlier on the show. This is Sam. He is out here trying to help out. Couldn't sleep and felt like he had to do his due diligence and come out here and help clean up some of the glass along here. And Sam's not alone. We're already seeing some people out here in the early morning hours on this Monday trying to get those people up and going. You can see people across the street there. The owner of State Street Brats over there also cleaning up, trying to assess the new damage from overnight. So that curfew is now out. We know the National Guard moved out of here. Our crews saw them around midnight boarding those buses, and hundreds of officers have still been patrolling this area, and we do know around 15 people were arrested. We'll have more of the damage coming up throughout the show. Guys?
Hey, Josh, real quick, if we have time, I would like to ask Josh a question, but we'll move on. The damage left from last night's protest extends beyond State Street. You're taking a look at some dumpster fires that were near the Capitol. So the video you're looking at here is on Langdon Street, which is home to a lot of UW-Madison's Greek life. People who live on that street came out to help. You're seeing them dump buckets of water on that fire to help firefighters put it out.
Breaking new video into the newsroom this morning of damage caused after looting at the Sun Prairie Target. Take a look at this. Police say they do believe this is related to the demonstrations in downtown Madison last night. As the suspects tried to make an escape, they hit and damaged a police cruiser. That's what you're looking at. Officers are still looking for that car this morning. Police chased one of the other cars involved onto the interstate at one point. As a result, they have 2 people in custody facing charges. Casmer Kipton and Lavette Brown, both facing different charges. Those include burglary, felony eluding, and party to a crime. Target will be closing stores across the country because of situations just like that one. They've been the target of break-ins and burglaries in a number of cities. Stores in Chicago, Minneapolis, and a couple of other places will close. So far, though, none of those are here in Wisconsin. Target says it is still planning on providing essentials to folks in areas where the damage is the worst.
The reports of more looting on State Street are no doubt frustrating for a lot of the people who turned out early on Sunday to clean up the destruction from Saturday night. At least 75 businesses were damaged or looted on the first night of damage. Hundreds of people then showed up early Sunday. A lot of them had brooms in hands and cleaning materials to really make a good effort to clean that street up. Those businesses, they worked through the day. These volunteers were there all day on Sunday washing off graffiti, and then more damage and destruction last night. We don't have an estimate yet on how many businesses were damaged last night.
To help those stores and restaurants that are recovering, the Boys and Girls Club has organized its Downtown Emergency Relief Fund, and it's already surpassed its $100,000 goal. Money raised will go toward the city and the downtown business district to help with their relief efforts. In just a couple of minutes, we're going to be talking with Michael Johnson about this effort and what we need to do as a city to move forward.
All right, 6:04 right now. Let's check in with Chris Reese. We have a chance of some rain today, don't we, Chris?
We do have a chance for some rain today, along with the chance for some showers and thunderstorms Tuesday night and Wednesday. More chances for some showers and thunderstorms as we head into the weekend as well. But, folks, we also have an alert day, particularly for Tuesday and Tuesday night. It comes twofold. Throughout the day, it's going to be the heat, and then into the overnight hours, it's going to be that potential for some strong thunderstorms. I want to highlight that one first. This is going to be mainly from 11 o'clock Tuesday night into 5 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. That's where I'm expecting a complex of strong thunders and storms to be diving in from the west and then towards the south and east. Their main threat is going to be wind and hail, but you could also see some localized flooding. Right now, we have an enhanced risk. That's level 3 out of 5 for western parts of the area, and then a slight risk level 2 out of 5 for the severe weather potential for everyone else. Of course, it's the heat as well. I want to show you these heat indices as we move into your Tuesday afternoon, folks. It's the first time this year that we could see some of those heat indices knocking on the door of 100 degrees. So make sure that you are ready for what is to come our direction on Tuesday. This is being brought to us by this big dome of heat. Anywhere that's right on the edge of that is where you're going to have a chance to see strong showers of thunderstorms diving from the north and west and towards the south and east. And as we move into your Wednesday, we are right on the edge of that. But we're on the edge of it today as well as that heat starts to build in. This is the reason we have this little area of some showers. That's the rain chance that we have into today. Right now, that's knocking on the door of southwest Wisconsin. It hasn't moved in just yet, but it will. I'm on the other side of the screen here. 60 degrees is where our temperature stands right now. Winds are out of the south at 9. Watch the showers of thunderstorms begin to increase. This is only throughout the morning, but here's 11 o'clock. We'll see temperatures into the low 60s at that point. Then we'll clear out this afternoon, and watch how temperatures bounce back towards 77. Tonight we'll cool down towards 69 for the overnight low. Then we go into 91 for tomorrow, and we'll watch that chance of showers of thunderstorms diving in from the north and west tomorrow night and into early on Wednesday. There's a reason there's an alert day in that forecast. We'll cool down outside of Tuesday relatively, but it's still going to be very warm and very humid this week. More chances for showers and thunderstorms exist Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Chris Reese on top of it. Thanks, Chris. 6:06 now. The Minneapolis police officer charged with the death of George Floyd is now in a more secure facility. Derek Chauvin is now in a maximum security prison in Oak Park Heights, Minnesota. This is the second time he's been relocated. Police say Chauvin needed to be moved, considering the number of protesters that are housed in the jail that he was in. Also, they're saying the coronavirus is a reason for this. Chauvin is seen in a video posted on Facebook holding his knee down on George Floyd's neck. This went on for several minutes as Floyd pleaded, "I can't breathe." Claims against the now fired police officer say he held his knee on Floyd's neck for more than 8 minutes. Derek Chauvin is charged with third-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter. His first court appearance is scheduled for 1 week from today. The truck driver responsible for what you see right here, driving at high speeds into crowds of protesters in Minneapolis, is in police custody and facing charges. This was Sunday on the 35W bridge in Minneapolis while the interstate was shut down to traffic. None of the demonstrators appear to be seriously hurt. The driver, however, who was pulled out of the truck and attacked by protesters, was treated for non-life-threatening injuries.
As we saw here in Madison, curfews and the National Guard did little to stop protesters in Minneapolis. You're taking a look at the scene in that city today. This morning, though, the mood a little different. A live look at a memorial for George Floyd this morning from our partners in that city. Protests last night in Floyd's memory remained largely peaceful. However, nearly 200 people in Minneapolis are in custody this morning. We're told those protesters were part of 3 peaceful groups, but they were violating the governor's mandatory curfew that started at 8 last night. Now, these arrests only add to the growing nationwide number. As of right now, we know that at least 4,400 people have been arrested for their part in protests. That number is nearly 3 times what it was Saturday.
There are a lot of incredible images coming into the newsroom this morning from protests across the country. That includes Washington, D.C., where more than 1,000 people packed Lafayette Park overnight near the White House. You can see fires here. Police used flashbangs to attempt to scatter the crowd. The White House ended up turning off all of its external lights as the fires grew. Fires also burning in other major cities overnight. A sight we saw in Madison just a couple of nights ago here. Police cruiser on fire. This is in the city of Boston around 10 o'clock their time. The cruiser was parked and unoccupied when a group of people surrounded it, kicked in some of the windows, and hit it with some objects before lighting it on fire.
In Des Moines, it was a mostly peaceful protest overnight, with officers joining in. Take a look at this video. Several members of the police department, dressed in their crowd control gear, kneeled in solidarity with protesters for 2 minutes. Des Moines police chief says they did it after protesters asked them to join in.
Every man and woman in the Des Moines Police Department knows what happened up there was wrong. That's not what this is about. We've had a lot of violence, we've had a lot of unrest, but what we had tonight was a peaceful protest. And us joining them in a symbolic way to kind of recognize what had happened, that's the least we can do.
Sunday marked the third day of protests in that city.
After the break, a job you picked up during the ongoing pandemic could turn into a full-time gig. We'll explain why.
And we continue to track breaking news from downtown Madison along State Street after another night of unrest and rioting. I'll have more from here coming up in a live report. Stay with us.
MG&E, building your community energy company for the future through the power of working together. Committed to cleaner, more sustainable energy, driven by innovation, fostered by shared values. Visit MGE2050.com.
Comfort Services, buy one air conditioner and get one gas furnace for only $1,000. BOGOs are back, and it's a beautiful thing.
Have you ever met Miss Lindy? She's a gal with the bright red hair. Now she stands out from all the rest. You know her anywhere. Where she's mine. Yeah, she's mine. My Miss Lindy. She's my Lindy. My only Lindy. Well, I love that little girl.
Power Centers of Madison. Visit powercentersofmadison.com.
We've got the power!
Hey guys, it's Luke here, and I just want to send out even more support to all of our farmers out there.
I'm sure you've all seen in the recent news, but dairy farmers are under fire.
They're still working to make sure communities have fresh, nutritious food to keep us healthy during these uncertain times.
I'm married a Wisconsin girl, so you know we love our cheese curds. So make sure you support Wisconsin, America's dairy land, and all the dairy farmers there.
To the road ahead. Trust Toyota to be here for you.
Right now, Toyota is offering 0% financing for 60 months on a new 2020 RAV4. Or you can lease a new RAV4 for $229 a month. You can even shop and buy online from the comfort of your home. Many Toyota service centers are open to help keep your vehicle in top shape and may even offer no-contact vehicle drop-off.
All from the brand you trust today and tomorrow. Toyota.
My new normal, fewer asthma attacks.
Less oral steroids.
Taking my treatment at home.
Nucala is a once-monthly add-on injection for severe eosinophilic asthma, not for sudden breathing problems. Allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for swelling of face, mouth, tongue, or trouble breathing. Infections that can cause shingles have occurred. Don't stop steroids unless told by your doctor. Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection. May cause headache, injection site reactions, back pain, and fatigue. Ask your doctor about Nucala at home. Find your new normal with Nucala.
MG&E, building your community energy company for the future through the power of working together. Committed to cleaner, more sustainable energy, driven by innovation, fostered by shared values. Visit MGE2050.com.
Welcome back, 6:13 on this Monday morning as we continue to track breaking news from State Street in downtown Madison after a second night of rioting. We're coming to you near Lake Street this morning. You can see 7-Eleven on the corner, an ATM literally outside of the window right there, so damage done there. And this is something we're seeing pretty much every business has some sort of damage. Another popular spot is the Starbucks here, which also has some more damage. We've got some video last night from when there were actually people rioting this place. Again, second night in a row row. You can see the boarded up spot was from Saturday night. They fixed this up yesterday, and then this was the damage done last night. Now, Starbucks is actually open this morning. They're taking orders because they were already doing mobile orders due to COVID happening right now. I spoke to one of the people working here, and they said that they don't see anything actually missing. None of the merchandise was stolen out of here, so they were able to be lucky there, although most people, not much you can do with the coffee situation. We have noticed a little bit less of a police presence throughout State Street this morning as that curfew has been lifted, and we're going to continue tracking some of that new damage from overnight ahead at 6:30, guys.
Thank you, Josh. The CEO of Dane County's Boys and Girls Club is part of a movement right now to help raise money for those businesses damaged on State Street.
Michael Johnson joining us live via Zoom this morning to talk about that effort and what needs to be done moving forward to heal our city. Michael, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me on.
I'm taking a look at your fundraiser right now. You're at $125,000. You told us 2,300 donors, and a lot of this money is going toward women and minority-owned businesses. That's a big deal in just a couple of days.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure after we saw, what was happening, downtown. A lot of those downtown businesses support, the work that we do in this community. So we immediately launched a GoFundMe page and worked with a Facebook group called Dane County Neighbors Helping Neighbors. And within, I think, 12 hours, we raised over $100,000. Now we're at $135,000 with 2,300 people contributing. And given what happened last night, I'm hoping we can raise $200,000 to help rebuild and to support those businesses, downtown. A lot of these businesses, some don't have insurance. Some, 70% are people who, live in our community, right here in Dane County. Some of those businesses have high deductibles at as high as $25,000. And we just wanted to be able to provide some relief and some support to them as we go through these challenging times.
Now, Michael, with everything that's happened over this last week, including what you saw in our city over the weekend, how are you feeling this morning?
I'm tired. I'm angry. I am upset about what happened to, George Floyd. How can you not, be upset? How can you not be angry to see, another black man killed at the hands of a police officer? But I'm also hurt to see that, I believe in peaceful protests. I believe in allowing people voices to be heard. But it breaks my heart to see young people catching felonies, burning police cars, looting and breaking into stores. That is not the route to go. And I've worked with families like this all the time that have been killed and involved in officer-involved shootings. And that doesn't give us the right to burn things, to break into private property. It's just not something I can encourage, support, and would just ask, the people who are doing this. It takes away from the narrative. It takes away from, I think, seeking justice for George Floyd and his family. They would not want to see us burning down police cars and breaking into Target. And I personally just can't support that, but I also understand why people are fed up. People are fed up of being, over police. People are fed up from paying, you think of all the payday loans that's in neighborhoods. People are fed up of all the injustices that take place, all over this country. So there's a lot of built up anger and energy that's in our community. And I just want to ask people to continue to protest peacefully, but just be careful. It is not worth I think a young person was charged yesterday with a felony. It is not worth you damaging your reputation, damaging your future, and you could particularly hurt somebody. You go and burn down, a building or somebody's property, and somebody is in there, and you end up being incarcerated for the rest of your life. So it's just not worth it, and we got to be careful.
Really briefly, Michael, what do we need to do as a city to move forward at this point?
So I'm writing an op-ed, and I talked about this the other day when we had our town hall meeting with police chiefs. One, I think every citizen in every municipality need to talk to their police chief and their police board and look at their use of force policy and make sure they look at it from a equitable lens. One, I strongly encourage protests, town hall meetings, and discussions. I think those things are very therapeutic, and we need to continue to have those conversations, but they also need to be outcomes that come out of it, and our philanthropic community should support those outcomes. Three, I would say we need to continue to raise resources for the businesses downtown, for George Floyd and his family, and to make sure that we continue to address these kinds of issues. Four, I'm going to say to my nonprofit partners and to our schools, we should have targeted programs to support Black families who are traumatized by these issues right now. And it's okay to say we're going to program and provide mental health services and targeted programs for families who are traumatized by these kinds of issues. And then the last thing I would say, we have to address the racial disparities that we have in this region. We've been talking about these issues for more than 50 years. And part of this built up anger and frustration is around some of the challenges that we face as a community.
Michael, we so appreciate your efforts. I know a lot of folks are behind you. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Michael Johnson, the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club here. New goal of $200,000 for those businesses that they're trying to raise for everyone downtown right now. All right, Chris Reese out on the patio with your Monday forecast. Hey, Chris.
Yeah, good morning, folks. We already have seen some of that cloud cover start to stream its way on in. That's going to be ahead of a chance for some showers that we see in the forecast as we go through today. We're sitting at 60 degrees right now. Winds are out of the south at 9 miles per hour. Janesville is now at 61. Same for our friends over in Lone Rock. But we're going to continue to keep an eye on those showers as they continue to get a little bit closer towards the state. We'll be tracking that throughout the morning along with big time heat and some potential very strong thunderstorms Tuesday night and early Wednesday.
Chris, thanks for keeping an eye on that for us. 621 rather now. Coming up in our next half hour, we expect to hear the results of a private autopsy performed on George Floyd. Why his family says they don't agree with the city medical examiner's conclusion.
Also ahead, we continue to track breaking news from downtown Madison as more businesses assess damage from overnight. We'll be right back.
It's time to freshen up around your yard. This year, don't struggle with bulky bags of mulch. Call JR.
JR's mulch sales, spread it around.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family cool this summer,
let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
Call us at OK Heating and Air Conditioning.
Call AirServe Heating and Air Conditioning, serving the Madison area.
Work smarter. Use the cloud to securely print, scan, and collaborate. GI Office Technologies, helping businesses like yours.
Home is dancing because no one's watching. Home is a reason to disturb the peace. Home is laughter. Home is where heads come to rest. A place to let go, and a place to find again. At Stanley Steamer, we love home, and we know that a clean home is a healthy home. We're ready when you are.
At
Machinery Road Bicycles, you'll find Wisconsin's largest selection of cycling apparel, shoes, and helmets from Pearl Izumi, Castelli, Trek, Gore, Showers Pass, Terry, Bell, and Giro. There's no such thing as bad weather, just unsuitable clothing. At Machinery Road Bicycles, you'll find cycling apparel for all seasons, whether you're trying to beat the heat or stay warm and dry. Lots of great bargains. From commuting to triathlon, from quality basics to the gear the pros wear, and everything in between. The most beautiful bicycle store in the world, Machinery Road Bicycles, has you covered.
Good morning, class. Today's lesson is about shopping local. Do you know what day is coming up?
608 Day. You just go to MadisonMagazine.com, click on 608 Day to find great deals from businesses we love in the 608. You know, like the area code.
Very good, Emmy. When does this take place?
The week of June 8th, 608. Madison Magazine makes it easy to shop local.
She's my star student.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.
All right, Chris Reese, what's it looking like today? I know we have some rain in the forecast and then some severe weather on tap for later this week, huh?
Yeah, that's indeed the case. None of that rain is falling out there at the moment. Temperature-wise, we're right at 60 degrees in Madison. We're seeing our winds stay out of the south at about 9 miles per hour right now, but I'm tracking some showers towards the west. Those are working their way into south central Wisconsin. So right around 8 o'clock or so, and then until about 1 o'clock, you will need that umbrella if you're headed out. Don't be surprised if you hear a few rumbles of thunder. Now, once we get you beyond those, beyond those showers, we'll start to see the sunshine returning, and temperatures will work their way all the way up towards 71 degrees. But you are indeed right when you say we could see some strong storms into Tuesday. In fact, we have the alert day in the forecast for Tuesday and Tuesday night. In addition to the overnight storms, it's going to be the daytime heat on Tuesday. It could feel as warm as 93 to 98 degrees. Some folks could feel as warm as 100. By the way, we may tie the record high for Tuesday as well, so plenty of warmth.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us this morning, folks. We're back after a quick break with the latest from State Street.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
RHD Plumbing has the most reliable professionals in the industry. With honesty you can trust to deliver quality products and workmanship, dedicated to being the best. RHD Plumbing now offers complete bathroom and kitchen remodeling, the best plumbers, and everything else you need to finish your dream project. For your home or business, get the job done right the first time with no surprises with the reliable, honest, and dedicated plumbing professionals of RHD Plumbing, proud partner of the Green Bay Packers.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Just like you, I had problems sleeping. I tried every pillow out there and nothing worked. 15 years ago, I invented MyPillow. It took me 2 years to develop because I wanted to have everything you would ever want in a pillow. I made sure that you could adjust my patented fill so you could have the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of your sleep position. I also wanted a pillow that would last, so I made MyPillow machine washable and dryable. I back MyPillow with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota.
I really like the fact that it was made in the USA. I think that USA products are a better quality product. I've tried a lot of other pillows and nothing's worked like MyPillow.
I'm interrupting this commercial right now to give you deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but also my mattress toppers, sheets, and so much more. For example, you can get body pillows regularly $89.99, now only $29.99, or MyPillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
I used to think that sheets were just sheets. I got the Giza Dream sheets. They are the most comfortable sheets I've ever had.
The Go Anywhere pillow is so easy to just roll up and take anywhere I want to go.
Go Anywhere pillow is really comfortable, so that's what I really like. It's nice and supportive, and it's nice and small.
The MyPillow topper, for the first time, has enabled me to have a cool night's sleep. I'm able to go to bed and just get rest.
That's 3 inches of wonderful that's in the MyPillow mattress topper. It's just like a firm cloud.
MyPillow helps me get a good night's sleep so I can do my job in the morning.
Go to MyPillow.com to get deep discounts, not just on My Pillows, but so much more. For example, you get body pillows, regular $89.99, now only $29.99. Or My Pillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
New Colgate Optic White Renewal removes 10 years of yellow stains. That's like all the way back to 2010.
Do the doggy!
Remove 10 years of yellow stains with new Colgate Optic White Renewal.
Duracell Optimum will be right where you need them. Today, tomorrow, the day after that, and the day after that, day after day. Packaging designed to make storage easier. Duracell Optimum.
Right now, burning anger. Protesters set fires and break windows while under curfew downtown. We'll have the latest on the new damage overnight straight ahead.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, folks, and thanks for joining us on your Monday. Madison's curfew is now over, and we're getting a first look at new damage across the city.
Once again, peaceful protests and demonstrations were followed by destruction. And with a first look at the aftermath, Josh Sprider is live along State Street. Josh?
Good morning, guys. Yeah, the cleanup is already underway for a second day in a row. This morning, you can see they're boarding up the Stop and Shop here on the corner of the little grocery store. Carpenters are out here trying to clean that up. And this is a scene that we see all across downtown. Most businesses, many of the businesses here, have at least some sort of boarded up windows and doors. It's quite the sight to see. It almost reminds you as if you see the video from down south as they prepare for a hurricane. A lot of these people are taking the extra precautions to protect their businesses. It's kind of unclear to tell even what has been damaged and what people are just trying to protect so far this morning. From what we've seen as far as the damage and what from our crews saw overnight, it looks like most of the damage from last night was done on the lower part of State Street, down by State Street Brats, the Under Armour store, and also Starbucks and 7-Eleven. Seems to be more of the damage down there. We have seen a few people already out here cleaning up this morning, which has been quite the sight to see. Truly amazing to see these people coming out here. Even when we started on the air at 4:30, already people out here sweeping up glass to try and help these business owners get back on their feet. And again, this is day 2. That curfew does go in effect until Wednesday, but we will see tomorrow night if the Madison City Council will extend that curfew even beyond that. Leah?
Josh, and with so much damage down there, have we heard from business owners if they plan on opening today?
Yeah, Leah, I'm hearing from both sides of it. Earlier on, we were at Starbucks, and they're actually still doing mobile orders from there, almost like a drive-through right now because the window isn't there. The lady had been set up right out there, so they're open today. But then there's also businesses like the Campus Insignia Apparel. I also spoke to the business owners there, and they're going to be staying closed until it's safe to reopen because at this point, they just can't risk any more of their stuff being stolen out of that store, Leah.
Josh Sprider continuing to bring us the very latest. Thank you, Josh.
We also saw several fires around the Capitol last night as well. A lot of people were setting dumpsters on fire and pushing them to the Capitol. This is on Langdon Street, area where a lot of UW-Madison's Greek life is. And the community there stepped in to help put some of those fires out. You're looking at video where folks were using buckets of water to try to put some of those flames out to help the firefighters extinguish the fires.
We have new video just into the newsroom of a looting at a Sun Prairie Target last night around 11. This is the damage left behind when those looters tried to drive off. They actually hit a police cruiser. That's what you're taking a look at right now. That car got away. Officers tell our crew they do believe this was related to the demonstrations in downtown Madison last night. Now, officers chased another car involved in this case onto the northbound ramp at the interstate. 2 people were arrested in connection with that case. 40-year-old Casmer Kipton facing burglary and felony eluding charges. Police say he was the driver. 35-year-old Levette Brown in the passenger seat facing party to a crime. Now, nationally, Target is closing several of its stores and adjusting hours at dozens more. Their locations have been subject to break-ins and burglaries like the one we just showed you across the country. Those closures are in Chicago, Minneapolis, and several other cities. So far, none are in Wisconsin. Target says, though, it will continue providing essentials to folks in areas where protests caused the most damage.
And we're seeing the demonstrations across Dane County and on a much different note than how they started. Very peaceful protesters and demonstrators gathered at 6:30 in the evening yesterday and marched up and down State Street. The tone, though, started to shift around 9:30 when the city curfew began. Police say protesters started throwing rocks and an officer was assaulted. The folks at these demonstrations are protesting the death, of course, of George Floyd, a black man killed by a white police officer in Minneapolis last week. And Josh is showing us this morning at least 75 State Street businesses still assessing the damage from violent demonstrations over the weekend. The Boys and Girls Club is asking for your help. We just spoke with the group's president, Michael Johnson. He says after last night's violent demonstration, he's hoping now to raise $200,000, doubling the original goal to help these businesses out. As of this morning, they've raised about $124,000. So if you're looking to add to that fundraiser, we have a link up right now. Log on to channel3000.com.
Switching gears now, Chris Reese is in for Miss Hattie McLean on this Monday. He's talking about some showers to start off the week. Hi, Chris.
Yeah, good morning, folks. We do have that chance for some showers out there as we go through today. They're not here yet, but they will be as we go through the next couple of hours. Then it's the heat and humidity for Tuesday, and then big storms late Tuesday night as we head into your Wednesday. Here's a live look outside right now. The clouds have increased, but things are indeed dry. 60 is our temperature in Madison. Lone Rock coming in at 61. Good morning to our friends in Boscobel at 63. Mineral Point at 59. We can expect Monroe to be somewhere into the upper 50s or low 60s. I know your temperature does not show up, but we know you were there. Good morning in Monroe. Here's Doppler track right now. Here are those showers that we're already starting to work into the western part of the state. They're right along that Mississippi River, but we've watched these over parts of southern Minnesota and northern Iowa all morning. They're getting ready to cross into southern Wisconsin, and that is brought to us by this setup that we have right here. This big dome of heat has already started to develop across the country. When you're on the edge of that, especially the northeastern edge, you're in this flow where you have showers and thunderstorms that begin to move your direction from the north and west. That's bringing the shower chances today. Into tomorrow, that flexes just a little bit of muscle, so the shower and thunderstorm chances, they're going to be a little bit further towards the north, but then by tomorrow night into Wednesday, we start to see that collapse back down towards the south. That's why we have that strong thunderstorm chance Tuesday night into your Wednesday. Already the Storm Prediction Center has parts of the state and an enhanced risk that's level 3 out of 5 for the severe weather. We're talking a complex of strong thunderstorms likely moving in from 11 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the morning. That could bring some high winds and hail along with some localized flooding. Let's show you how that begins to play out for us. We're going to start with this morning, though, and watch how these temperatures begin to warm up into the low 60s. Here are the showers today. Those clear out this afternoon. Will top out right around 77. But then here's tomorrow. Notice those temperatures into the low 90s. By the way, the record high tomorrow is 91, and that's the forecast high. But then the showers and storms start to move in into the overnight hours. But before they get here, folks, heat indices will be from the 80s and into the upper 90s by the time we get you towards the peak heating of the afternoon. So while today is comfortable, tomorrow will certainly be hot. We have the alert day in the forecast for the heat and the thunderstorms overnight into early Wednesday. Plenty of 80s will last throughout that extended forecast.
Now, Chris, I know you love the snow, but you're a southern gentleman at heart. Do you mind this humidity?
Yes.
Okay.
I will be honest. I do not like the humidity, but I can't say it's nothing I'm not used to.
There's a reason he moved here.
Yes.
All right, Chris, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
6:37 now. The results of a private autopsy looking into George Floyd's death will be released later today. The medical examiner had found there was no physical evidence of suffocation or strangulation. That office says he likely died from a combination of police restraint, underlying health conditions, and potential intoxicants in his system. Floyd's family disputes those findings, which is why they commissioned a private autopsy. Our CBS affiliate in Minneapolis reports the family does believe Floyd died from the officer's knee that was pressed into his neck. That officer, Derek Chauvin, is being transferred to the Minnesota Department of Corrections this morning. That's according to the Minneapolis Star-Tribune. The Department of Corrections commissioner says that decision was made because of coronavirus concerns. The 3 other officers involved in that deadly arrest have not yet been charged.
Breaking overnight, the Minnesota Department of Public Safety says 362 people have been arrested since Friday. Minneapolis police say flammable materials and accelerants have also been found hidden around Minneapolis neighborhoods. Those include water bottles filled with gasoline. This comes as the city experienced its 6th night of violent protests. Now, it's a rather similar situation in Milwaukee, too. Police towing cars and arresting people for breaking curfew. More than 60 people have been arrested so far. They're also investigating a double shooting from overnight. It happened on North 57th Street, right off of Lisbon Avenue, downtown. They say a 21 and 23-year-old have non-life-threatening injuries. One of them was taken to the hospital for treatment. Officers are still looking for the shooter. It is unclear, though, whether the shooting was tied to demonstrations overnight in the city.
Some breaking news overnight. Take a look at some of this video just into the newsroom this morning. This is our nation's capital city on fire. Several fires were set overnight near the White House. Protesters had piled up road signs and plastic barriers and lit that fire in the middle of a street. An American flag was also pulled from a nearby building and thrown onto the pile. Another fire was set in the basement of the historic St. John's Episcopal Church, but it was quickly put out. The entire Washington, D.C. National Guard was activated to help with this response. That's roughly 1,700 soldiers.
Protests are also happening in Chicago. The city's mayor says weekend protests could delay the city's reopening, which is scheduled for Wednesday. The Chicago Tribune reports the mayor has been speaking with health officials about it. Unclear at this point, though, when a decision could be made. Right now, Illinois, as a state, has more than 120,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus. Well, some positive news on the local front when it comes to coronavirus. The latest data from DHS shows 2.3% of new coronavirus cases, tests came back positive. That's down from Saturday, when more than 5% of cases were positive. There are now more than 1,800 confirmed cases in the state since the pandemic started. More than 60% of those patients have recovered. About 6,000 are still active. Damage across our city. We are keeping an eye on the situation on State Street, where some of the worst of it is, and what's next for our city today, with a live report from Josh Sprider every 10 minutes.
We're also keeping you updated on similar situations for cities across the country. You're taking a live look right now at New York City. What's left of protests in that city overnight? Stick around. News 3 Now this morning. We'll be back after a quick break.
Landscape design can be overwhelming. Our experienced landscape designers, horticulturists, and arborists work together to make any vision come to life. From planting to pruning, seeding to sodding, mowing to mulching, and everything in between, we are Barnes. Get started today at barnesinc.net.
Whatever your water worry, Culligan Water can help. With over 40 filtration systems, all NSF certified, including the world's best softener, no one filters more than Culligan Water. The only water that comes with a van. Contact Culligan, the local water experts.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. Attention e-cigarette users. The use of e-cigarette vaping devices such as Juul has been linked to serious health effects, especially in teens and young adults. If you or your child used a vaping device and suffered lung damage, seizures, nicotine poisoning, addiction, or any other serious health problem, you may be entitled to financial compensation.
Call 1-800-624-9726. That's 1-800-624-9726.
The world may be shut down, but Mother Nature won't wait. Normal wear and tear on your home won't wait either. So if you need a home improvement, we're here to help. With exclusive offers to save you money on roofing, siding, windows, gutters, and design services, all with zero down, 0% interest, and no monthly payments for 6 months. Plus free virtual consultations from the comfort and safety of your own home. Visit fryconstruction.com for exclusive money-saving offers and contact us today.
Gobin Cars grand opening sale, beautiful Middleton. 2017 Nissan Sentras, Hyundai Elantras for only $79.95 or $129 per month.
That's right. Buy 2017 Nissan Sentras and Hyundai Elantras for only $79.95 or $129 per month.
Gobin Cars is selling 2018 Kia Fortes for only $89.95 or $149 per month.
Hurry in today and just ask for my dad, Don the Dealman Gobin.
Or my daughter, Crystal the Pistol Gobin.
You gotta go to Gobin, GobinCars.com.
Habitat for Humanity of Dane County provides local families long-term stability through home ownership. Statistics show children from stable housing are more likely to get better grades, finish high school, and graduate from college. Strengthen our community. Support Habitat Dane County.
Landscape design can be overwhelming. Our experienced landscape designers, horticulturists, and arborists work together to make any vision come to life. From planting to pruning, seeding to sodding, mowing to mulching, and everything in between, we are Barnes. Get started today at barnesinc.net.
News 3 Now, Channel 3000, and Madison Magazine are pleased to partner with Madison Metropolitan School District to give its high school seniors a graduation to remember. Join us for special commencement ceremonies with messages from students and principals, musical performances, and virtual walk across the stage photo tributes to the graduates. Class of 2020, born to make history. June 12th and 13th on News 3 Now and streamed live on Channel 3000.
Welcome back on your Monday morning. As families make the shift from virtual learning to summer break, it's still important to keep a routine.
Yes, very important. Amanda Quintana shows us this morning how an expert would give advice. It's this week's Time for Kids segment.
As businesses begin to reopen in our area, it's still a summer of uncertainty, especially for kids, with big concerts canceled and many summer staples like camps and pools still closed. SSM health physician Laura Mendick says studies show routines are important for kids at every age, including a wake-up time, meal times, and regular bedtime. Setting a schedule and planning activities will lead to healthy habits this summer.
The only thing we know with COVID is that it's going to change. And beyond that, we can't look and tell you what's going to be happening a month from now, 2 months from now, or 3 months from now. So scheduling things 1 week at a time based on what your local area recommendations are from the public health department and the county is going to be your best approach to this.
She suggests visiting a state park as a family or coming up with other safe activities to give kids something to look forward to without planning too far out. Dr. Mendick says that she wants to stress that in your kids' routine, washing their hands still needs to play a big role, as well as social distancing and wearing masks while out.
All right, time right now is 6:45. Let's check in with Chris Reese with a look at your forecast. Hey, Chris.
Yeah, good morning, guys. We're waking up to dry weather outside right now. It's also very comfortable in terms of those temperatures. 60 is where we're starting out in Madison. Winds are out of the south at 9 miles per hour, but you'll notice the skies are cloudy. That's ahead of the next rain chance that we're going to see working its way on in. It's ahead of a warm front, oddly enough. That's why temperatures are a little bit warmer just towards the south and west. Platteville at 60, Boscobel coming in at 63. But here are those showers. Already you see them knocking on the door right here in south central Wisconsin. Places right along that Iowa state line are already starting to see the rainfall arrive. We'll watch that continue to increase over southern Wisconsin throughout the morning hours. But there's good news. That gets out of here later on this morning. Temperatures take off towards 77 degrees for those highs today. You'll want to enjoy that. Big heat and big thunderstorms come our direction Tuesday and Tuesday night.
Been warned. Thank you very much, Chris. 6:46 now. Coming up in the morning sprint, we are hearing from Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo on how he's feeling after the death of George Floyd.
And as we head to break, we are trying to give you a look at Minneapolis this morning, where a memorial for George Floyd is growing. It is 6:46 right now. We're back right after this.
Get the facts with Reality Check, only on News 3 Now.
Go-getters, run with Sloan. Save big on full and mid-size Gator XUVs at the John Deere Green Tag sales event, because taking the wheel shouldn't take you over budget. Get a John Deere Gator during Green Tag and powered up with Sloan.
Hi, I'm Tim O'Brien, owner of the Healthy Place Apple Wellness, and boy, has this been a rough season. We are here for you. We're open. Our wellness consultants are trained in the top immune, lung, and inflammation supplements that are important right now. We have live chat on our website and same-day delivery for our Dane County residents, so you do not need to leave the house. We support you. Stop by one of our 4 Madison-based locations or check us out online at findyourhealthyplace.com.
From our family to yours, we want to encourage you to keep going. Keep protecting what's most important. Keep hopeful in the face of all this. Keep believing. Keep being strong. Keep supporting the people on the front line. Keep staying together while staying apart. Keep being fearless. And most of all, keep dreaming. American Family Insurance is mailing our personal auto insurance customers a premium relief payment to help them keep going. We'll keep being here when you need us.
Comfort Services. Buy one air conditioner and get one gas furnace for only $1,000. BOGOs are back, and it's a beautiful thing.
The Leadership Development Program is designed for people who at some point intend to become supervisors. It would open the doors for you for a lot of different types of positions where you're going to have people reporting to you. The number one reason I would say students should come to Blackhawk Tech is that they're going to get a great education from great instructors who understand, make the learning more applicable to them, a real quality education at a very reasonable cost.
This week, you're going to get more at the Brothers Made Memorial Day Super Sale. Get in now with more savings on more brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Amana. Right now, improving your home is more convenient at Maine with up to 18-month 0% financing. And we make getting more easy with expert delivery free and our risk-free 30-day price and satisfaction guarantee. The Memorial Day Super Sale for more selection, more savings, and more satisfaction. It all ends Monday at the Brothers Made, your local store for more since 1938.
Go-getters, run with Sloan. Save big on full and mid-size Gator XUVs at the John Deere Green Tag Sales Event, because taking the wheel shouldn't take you over budget. Get a John Deere Gator during Green Tag and powered up with Sloan.
Age at Home by a Grace. Care for the way you want to live.
Welcome back at 6:50. Time for the morning sprint as we track more breaking news from downtown Madison this morning along State Street after a second night of rioting left to many damaged businesses. You can see them boarding up the windows here at Insignia Campus Apparel right now. Night 2 of destruction for them. We are seeing many volunteers out here already helping to clean up some of these businesses along Starbucks right here, cleaning up some of the glass. As Starbucks is actually still open, taking mobile orders today. A lot of these businesses are left wondering whether or not to reopen until it's safe to do so. Again, that curfew is now up. That police presence has kind of gone away, but that cleanup effort just beginning. Day 2 out here along State Street.
Josh, thank you. Madison police are telling us more about what that damage looks like citywide. Chief Vic Wall says several stores are damaged. Multiple fires were set. A few demonstrators even tried to steal a police squad car. Several officers were hurt, with demonstrators throwing rocks at them. In total, 15 arrests were made. One of those people was arrested for looting while armed with a handgun.
Some of those fires down near the Capitol, dumpsters here ablaze, then pushed around the streets near the Capitol. One of those streets is Langdon. That's where a lot of UW-Madison's Greek life is. And you see here college-age young adults with buckets and coolers filled with water to help firefighters put those flames out.
We have new video just into the newsroom of looting at a Sun Prairie Target last night around 11. This is the damage left behind when those looters tried to drive off and hit a police cruiser in the process. Officers tell our crew they do believe this was related to last night's demonstrations. Officers chased another car onto the northbound ramp at I-94 and Highway 51. 2 people are under arrest as a result. 40-year-old Casper Kipton facing burglary and felony eluding charges. Police say he was the driver in that case. 35-year-old Levette Brown in the passenger seat, also facing charges of party to a crime.
Now, nationally, Target is closing several of its stores and adjusting hours at dozens more. Those locations have been subject to break-ins and burglaries as violent demonstrations continue across the country. The closures are primarily in Chicago and Minneapolis and a few other cities, none so far in Wisconsin. The Minnesota-based company says it will provide essentials, though, to residents in areas where the protests caused the most damage.
We are seeing those demonstrations across Dane County ending on a different note than how they started. Peaceful protesters gathered as early as 6:30 in the afternoon to march up and down State Street, but the tone started to shift right around 9:30 when Madison's curfew was set to start. Police say that's when protesters started throwing rocks and an officer was assaulted.
Right now, we are waiting for the results of a private autopsy that looks into the death of George Floyd. That is expected to be released today. The medical examiner says that he likely died from a complication of police restraint, underlying health conditions, and potential intoxicants in his system. Floyd's family, though, disputes those findings, which is why they commissioned their own autopsy. Our CBS affiliate in Minneapolis reports the family believes the officer's knee on Floyd's neck was the cause of death.
That officer, Derek Chauvin, is being transferred this morning to the Minnesota Department of Corrections. That's according to the Minneapolis Star Tribune. The Department of Corrections commissioner says the decision was made because of coronavirus concerns. The 3 other officers involved in that deadly arrest have not yet been charged.
Overnight, the Minnesota Department of Public Safety said that 362 people have been arrested since Friday. Minneapolis police say flammable materials and accelerants have also been found hidden across Minneapolis neighborhoods. Those include water bottles filled with gasoline. It comes as the city experienced its 6th night of violent protests.
Similar situation in Milwaukee. Police there towing cars and arresting people for breaking curfew. More than 60 have been arrested so far. They're also investigating a double shooting overnight in the downtown area. A 21 and 23-year-old have non-life-threatening injuries from that shooting, though one did have to be taken to the hospital. Officers are still looking for the shooter. It's not clear whether this was related to that city's demonstrations.
Fires near the White House last night. Protesters here putting street signs and other flammable materials into a pile and setting it on fire in the middle of the street. An American flag also pulled from a nearby building and thrown into that pile. There was also a fire set in the basement of the historic St. John's Episcopal Church. It was quickly put out, though.
We are working to learn more about an officer-involved shooting in Watertown over the weekend. Officers stopped the man for a burnt-out taillight. Police say he was wanted for questioning related to a domestic incident. Officers say they did use non-lethal measures before ultimately shooting him. A gun was found at the scene. The Wisconsin Department of Justice and Division of Criminal Investigation are still investigating. No officers were hurt. Bucs star Giannis Antetokounmpo is sharing his perspective after George Floyd's death. On Twitter, the forward said, "I don't know how to put into words exactly how I feel, but one thing I know for sure is that enough is enough. It's time for change."
And there will be a prayer vigil tonight for justice and peace. It's happening at 6 o'clock at the Fountain of Life parking lot on Badger Road. It's right off of Park Street in the Beltline. The Mount Zion Baptist Church posted the notice on their Facebook page.
Some positive news on the coronavirus front this morning. The latest data from the DHS shows 2.3% of new tests came back positive yesterday. That's down more than half from Saturday when 5% of cases were positive. There are now more than 18,000 confirmed cases in the state since the pandemic started. About 6,000 are still active.
And breaking within the last hour, the 2020 Taste of Madison is canceled. It was scheduled for September 5th and 6th around the square. The memo is posted on the website this morning for the event. In place of that event, organizers will launch a Taste of Madison Give Back campaign. It's a 2-week online giving event to support Second Harvest Food Bank and Cook It Forward, both nonprofits. All money raised will be split evenly between the two.
We have alert days in that forecast for Tuesday and Tuesday night. This is due to daytime heat indices being near 100 degrees on Tuesday. We could see some strong storms overnight in Wednesday. But in the meantime, we're tracking some showers out there today. Those will begin to increase as we go throughout the morning. Look for more shower chances until they come to an end in the early afternoon. More sunshine is expected on the backside of those. And then we'll see those temperatures topping out right around 77 degrees. Plenty of good weather ahead, folks, but it's certainly going to be very summer-like in that extended forecast.
Chris Reese, thank you. Continued coverage always at channel3000.com.